What's up guys, Mark back with another video, and in this one we're going to take another look at cell phones and their march to total domination. Let's start off at the beginning, shall we? The history of the camera goes much further back than the introduction of just photography. Cameras evolved from the camera obscura and continued to change through different iterations, including daguerreotypes, calotypes, dry plates, film, and onto modern-day digital cameras.
One man who was obsessed with this idea was Frenchman Nicéphore Niépce. He's become known as the father of photography because he captured the first ever image from life. It's called a heliograph, which literally means sunwriting. All photos, films, television can be traced back to this view from Niépce's house in France, taken in 1826. It changed everything. Niépce was a printmaker and regularly used a camera obscura to help him create images. But his drawing skills were poor, so he became determined to find a faster, more accurate way of capturing images from life. And so, using ordinary ingredients, he did something extraordinary. He created a light-sensitive mixture and after an 8-hour exposure, achieved the world's first photographic image. It was blurred and indistinct, but Niépce's photograph promised that our visual history, from our personal lives to the great events of the future, could be recorded forever.
Most people widely regard Ansel Adams as one of the greatest black and white landscape photographers of all time. He was a quote-unquote true professional. So let's just see how much he actually had to go through and whether you'd want to do it now.
Zeiss, the tessar, the triplet, protar, ectar, exnar, the componon, the ectonon, the cook, C5, K2, X1, G, A, the long, the wide, the normal.
After we have composed our image on the ground glass, we, of course, think of the tonal values of the print, and that means that we have to evaluate the brightnesses of the subject. We do this by the use of exposure meters. We can take average readings or instant light readings, or best of all, we can take photometric readings of small areas of the subject.
SEI, ASA, f-stop, t-stop, reflectance, incidence, brightness, intensity, strobe, wink, flash, bounce, natural.
Darkest shadow, 8 candles per square foot. Light on wet sand, 2,000 candles per square foot. Place shadow on zone 1, high value will fall on zone 9. Normal minus development indicated. I keep a record of everything. Film, lens, filter, lens extension, lens aperture, shutter setting. Above all, where I've placed important values on the exposure scale, and what development I will use to attain them in the negative.
So we've gone through a lot of changes, different sizes, different shapes, different colors, different price ranges, and quality. So let's jump forward to 1997. In that year, Philippe Kahn was stuck in a Northern California maternity ward with absolutely nothing to do. The software entrepreneur had been shooed away by his wife while she birthed their daughter, Sophie. So Kahn, who had been tinkering around with technologies that share images instantly, he jerry-rigged a device that could send a photo of his newborn to friends and family in real time. Like any invention, the setup was crude. It was a digital camera connected to his flip phone, synced by a few lines of code he'd written on his laptop in the hospital.
That's really impressive. Whoa. Whoa, just whoa. Bravo.
Soon after, he refined his prototype, and in 2000, Sharp used his technology to release the first commercially available integrated camera phone in Japan. But the phones weren't introduced into the US until a few years later and soon became a standard feature. It was called the JSH04. It could take photos, like the one shown here, at 110,000 pixel resolution, or in other terms, 0.11 megapixels. Bring the time machine to today, and we are easily shooting everything in full 12 megapixel and 4K glory.
Get your phone out of my face!
There's a term called convergence. So what is that? It's a point where different things come together to create something more powerful than all of its individual parts. Think of it like a Power Rangers Megazord. The point is, why carry 3 things when you can carry just 1? The sheer number of things that can be created now is staggering, and more people are finding less and less convenient to drag many items around when a single device can handle all of it. The logic is definitely there. In any other place, we would normally see people cheering for this kind of thing, but there's always holdovers and naysayers and crotchety old farts who refuse to turn loose of whatever they're used to and most comfortable with. And look, I'm going to agree that the image quality is definitely not as awesome as custom-built, tailor-made gear, but it's creeping on up there pretty damn close. More and more people are pushing this technology to its limits and showing the world what can be done, instead of being told what should be done. They are breaking through those glass ceilings, they're ignoring the labels, thrashing the stereotypes, and making a fool out of all the people who said that it couldn't, wouldn't, or shouldn't be done. And I seriously think that that's probably half the reason that a lot of the young and newer photographers just can't get out of the rut, because guys and gals that have been in the business for such a long time are constantly pushing the value of gear and not so much the value of creativity. A board programmer's little invention forever altered how we communicate, perceive, and experience the world, and laid the groundwork for smartphones and photo sharing applications like Instagram and Snapchat. Phones are now used to send hundreds of millions of images around the world every single day. People are constantly hunting and searching for that new piece of gear that's going to take them to that better place and finally make them the best photographer that they always knew that they should have been. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. It's not gear that you're lacking, it's creativity. And it's not a matter of can it be done, it's now a matter of who's going to do it. So tell me what you guys think. Will there ever come a day when cell phones will finally be everything that we hope they would be in terms of photography and videography? Leave your comments down below. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm your host, Mark Puckett, and I will see you guys again on the next one.